Good day. We can grow giant marrows 4 foot in a month, 45 inches. These marrows would taste exactly the same as a normal marrow. Nice and tender and lush. Some of them look a bit tough, but once you cut into them, they cut like butter. My name is Philip Fowles. I live in Culinary, Wales, and I grow giant vegetables. I've been growing giant vegetables now for the last 30 years. I come from a very large family. My mother had 17 children, 13 of us survived. And I think, that was something, big vegetables feed big families. I'm up here every morning, every night, every single day of the week. There's a lot of love and care goes into it. Sometimes I do a bit of talking to them as well to encourage them to grow, which is a bit of fun. I think he's just about finished growing there now. I got to be very careful. The wife is not about when I start talking to my vegetables, but it's all good fun. I broke the world record for the heaviest cucumber, 25 years ago. It weighed 18.5 pounds, and it was just incredible the way it grew. When I started, if we had a marrow, 20, 30 pounds in weight, you had a big marrow. Now we're up over 100 pounds in weight. A normal cabbage would be 2 pounds in weight. Well, we are growing them 120 pounds. You can feed 120, 130, 140 people off one cabbage. This is why I supply the local pub, and they use them up for Sunday lunch. I've developed my own strain, more or less, now. I select my own seed every year, the biggest and the best seed, and it just seems to be improving, which is incredible. I grow organically. I think if I can do it, anybody can do it, and it's a big thrill every day. The wife say, what am I doing up the allotment every day? And when she comes up, she realizes.
If you pluck people from all across the country and said, we have a farm, the image that they have of who's that farmer would not be KRISTYN LEACH.
My name is KRISTYN LEACH, and I'm a farmer in Winters, California, and I grow predominantly Korean and East Asian herbs and vegetables. I was born in Daegu, Korea. I was adopted as an infant. I grew up on Long Island in New York. The regional cuisine of Long Island is pizza and bagels, so that's what I was just sort of raised on. I just had never really explored Korean heritage, but I did get curious about the food. Oh wait, this is a really good little one. I worked on organic farms when I was a teenager, and so I just thought oh, I know how to grow plants. Maybe I should grow some of these plants from Korea, just to better understand this place where I'm from. I went back to Korea for the first time since I left. I spent just 3 weeks traveling around and was learning from all of these farmers and visiting different farms. It felt like a pretty profound way to actually engage with identity, because it answered for me a sense of what place I could find within a bigger story of Korean history. I practice a style of farming that's referred to as natural farming in Korea and Japan. Everything on the farm is grown organically, and essentially it's the way just peasant subsistence farmers farm. Some of the heritage crops that we focus on here are the Korean sesame leaf. The flavor is kind of licoricey and minty. CHAMOE, Korean melon, is somewhere between a cucumber and melon in flavor. It's really, really crunchy. Chili peppers, a really beloved staple, and Japanese eggplant. Just a small baseball-sized eggplant. It's super dense and really creamy. 3 times a week, I'll usually head to the bay to make a delivery. Namugaji is a restaurant in the Mission District in San Francisco. All of the produce goes directly to their restaurant. And their chefs and cooks figure out how to kind of design a menu around it.
My name is Dennis Lee. I'm the chef and owner of Namugaji in San Francisco. Right now, we're doing a really nice, simple grilled eggplant dish with a really heavy dusting of minced perilla. We're doing a nice melon salad right now with watermelon and Korean melon. We have a chili oil that we serve with our ramen that has Korean chilies from the farm. It's a restaurant that's operated by Korean Americans, so you see that in what we do. The way that our relationship works with KRISTYN is totally unique because it's tied to who she is. To be able to support an Asian woman and co-create a platform to express ourselves and share our story with people, that's pretty special.
The food that Dennis is making allows itself to just be really original, and it doesn't feel like it's trying to just reproduce a mold of what is Korean or what is Asian American. I'm learning about like my lineage. I'm trying to figure out a sense of belonging. And the experience of adoption is so complicated. I feel really grateful to have farming be the way that I interact with my culture.
Kanita was a food desert, but I wanted to do something about it. We began to grow, and we began to put our hearts and hands together, and Kanita is no longer a food desert. Kanita is a food oasis. I'm Reverend Richard Joyner, founder of Kanita Family Life Center. Kanita is a rural area in the eastern part of North Carolina, population of about 300 people. A food desert really means that the residents here do not have access to fresh, locally affordable grown foods. We buy most of our food from discount stores, which are high in sodium, calories, very low nutritional values. People had these early stages of chronic disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart attacks, strokes, and even mental illness because of the stress and some pain. People were dying in their 30s and 40s. We would be having 2 to 3 funerals a month and really devastating families. I was really feeling overwhelmed and feeling hopeless because I couldn't stop this chronic disease. And I pulled on the side of the road and really started praying, wanting to know what could I do. And I had this epiphany of open your eyes, look around. And I opened my eyes and all I saw was fields. So we started our first small garden, and now we're up to 21 acres of farmland. We have about 8 people that are parents and grandparents of our youth that work here every day. We have 40 students during the summer that use this farm for their reading, writing, math, and science, and for food. Presently on our farm, we have blueberries, tomatoes, we have collards, we have squash, we have zucchini. We end up averaging 100 pounds of food per week out of the garden. Food that we grow has had a tangible impact upon our community. We're able to put food on people's tables. Hello, having vegetables, all right. Our community is spending $4,000 less a month on prescription pills because of the food.
They are juicy.
The deaths have slowed down. We're not having as many funerals. I feel like we are making a difference. I love this community here because we're uniting around saving lives together.
South of Mexico City is XOCHIMILCO, known for its famous floating farms, or as the locals call them,
Chinampas.
Thanks, Lucio.
You got it.
With the help of this farmer and this chef, This man is fighting to keep some of Mexico's oldest farms alive. Meet Lucio. He's one of the co-founders of Yolcan, a nonprofit aimed at preserving the Chinampas.
The Chinampas are these artificial islands built even before the Aztecs. So for us at Yolcan is so important to preserve this culture and this space.
The Chinampas have some of the most fertile land in all of Mexico, and because of that, some of the best produce in the country is grown there.
Los beneficios de este cultivo es de que son naturales. No trae nada de químico, todo es natural. Principalmente la materia orgánica que se extrae de los canales.
This is Noé. He's one of the farmers that works in Xochimilco and still uses the ancient Chinampa technique.
Muchos nutrientes para las plantas que son de hortalizas y también de flores. Las chinampas al principio es muy difícil porque hay que tener jornaleros, pues lo importante es dinero.
Because the farmers lack the money to hire workers, they often leave the Chinampas to find better paying jobs in the city. Lucio knew that the only way to keep the farmers in Xochimilco was to get the Chinampas' fresh produce into restaurants all throughout Mexico City. Enter Jorge Vallejo.
I'm the chef and the owner of the restaurant Quintonil in Mexico City.
Jorge is considered one of Mexico's top chefs, and his restaurant, Quintonil, is rated number 6 in Latin America's 50 best restaurants. This guy is the real deal.
I really wanted to be part of Yolcan because you have to be aware about where the ingredients you work with come from, who grows them, if they are organic or they are at least as natural as possible. It's almost impossible to have as fresh as they have because everything has been taken up from the soil hours, no more than a day. So I think it's very important to not only work with the farmers, but also let them be part of the story.
Jorge, along with other Mexican chefs, worked with Yolcan to buy the produce from the Chinampa farmers and include them into their dishes.
We have turkey with different vegetables from the Chinampas, tlapique with different leaves that come from the Chinampa as well.
Yolcan has gone on to partner with 50 more of Mexico's chefs, bringing work back to the farmers and providing hope for the future of the Chinampas.
We believe that farmers are the caretakers of the land and also of our health. So for us, the Chinampa is this symbol of Mexican agriculture. We hope that people will have a glimpse of what Xochimilco used to be more than 800 years ago.